Danielle, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Why you are sad today?
Huh?
Are you sad today?
No, I'm not sad.
Okay, that's good. Okay, keep it up. So, um, tell me, should I call you Danielle or Naim?
Either is fine.
Okay, so Danielle, tell me, how do you feel about programming? Do you love programming?
Mm,
Honestly.
I honestly, I don't,
Hmm.
I don't
Okay.
love programming. It's just,
It's just you are forced to do it.
it's not forced. It's just that
Hmm.
I'm trying to do it.
Okay. Hmm. If you don't love programming, and I know very well that the nature of programming is heavy and you need to learn a lot of things. Hmm. Let me think. Okay, it's good that you tell me. Let me think then what could be the possible ways. Did you talk to your, about this with your father, or it's not easy to do that?
It's not easy to do that. He just wants me
Hmm.
to finish my degree and stuff like that. So I never,
Yeah,
and
argue.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
never
understand.
argue it.
Okay, so okay, I need to still think then how to find a solution for you. So definitely studying the Java and the Python later. Okay, we have to do it. Okay, but I believe Python will help you more if you don't like programming, because again now you are ending up with a degree and you have to find something to earn your living with using your degree. Okay, so you either go onto the direction of something called administration, okay, or you go with something that is having lightweight programming. It means that you don't really have to write big programs or deal with heavy programming tasks, rather than just writing scripts that do certain tasks. So Python, Java will not help. Python is one of the popular scripting languages that people use it to automate tasks. So if they have a task, especially this is common in cybersecurity. So in cybersecurity, they use tools more than they use programming. So sometimes when the tools fail, then they will go to write some code to solve that. So Python is able to automate tasks, many tasks, either on the network or even on a local computer. So this local computer can be even a server. So just let me give you an example here. Um, Beside AI, because AI need you to be a programmer, and you know a lot of details, but so for example, if you would like to feed something into AI, okay, so I think you already learned or dealt with ChatGPT, did you?
Yeah,
So with ChatGPT, for example, of course, there is advanced usage of it. So you can feed the whole syllabus to it, and then you start to ask it to answer questions based on the syllabus, for example, okay, or to highlight certain important places in the syllabus based on certain exams. So you pass it maybe 10, 20 exams for the subject, and then you tell it, okay, which portion of the syllabus that have a lot of question on it. Then you start to focus on that areas. So it means that it's able to automate tasks for you. But for you to put the whole syllabus inside the ChatGPT, you need the whole syllabus as a text. So how can you get the whole syllabus as a text? You need to use Python. So Python you can give it actually not a complicated script, just maybe 20, 30 lines of code, Python code that can take PDF files. So if you have your syllabus as a PDF file, you pass a PDF file, it will get you out all the text file contained. Or even if you have your and the beauty here sometimes your PDF file have images inside. It means that the code inside the syllabus, it is in the form of an image. It's not really text. So if it is an image, it means that we are not able to convert it to text. So we have to use some advanced techniques inside. So we search the PDF file, we check. If we are able to get the text, okay. If we face or see an image, so this means that we have to use something called OCR. So, but at the end, you will end up giving having a script. The input of the script is a PDF files, a folder of PDF files, maybe 10, 20 PDF files. For every chapter,
Hello?
you. Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Danielle? Danielle, can you hear me? Danielle, hello? Hello, hello? Danielle, can you hear me? Danielle, can you hear me, Danielle? Danielle, can you hear me? Danielle, can you hear me, Danielle? Hello? Hello, hello? Danielle? Danielle, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, Danielle?
Yeah, I hear you. I think we lost connection a bit.
Yes, yes. Not sure if from my side or your side. Okay, so okay. I think I need to repeat what I said, right? You become
Yeah,
lost, right?
yeah, I think we-
Okay, give me a second. I try to share that here. Okay, so I believe you are okay. Here, this. Okay, so Daniel, what I want to say that we make a Python script. So this Python script for reading PDF files. So you give it an input and it give you an output. So, and this Python script have two things that it can do. It can extract text from images, because sometimes, can you still follow up with me?
Yeah,
So, so we are dealing with, we are having a folder here, PDF. This is a folder. So you tell the Python where is the location of your PDF files, and that's easy. This is just a string that you put it. For example, you put it here like that, user / Daniel, like that, and then maybe you put here syllabus, something like that. So this is a string that you put it inside here, and this is exactly where your folder is actually located. So that this is 30 lines of Python code. The output is just text file, just text file. Inside this text file, you find all the text inside your syllabus. So we assume your syllabus maybe 15 chapters. So it means that you have 15 PDF file. The code is able to go and open each PDF file and go page by page and get out. It will check if it see that certain pages that you have an image, so it will try to get the code or to get the text out from the image. If it just find a normal text, it will just also get it. So it will combine all and save it to a text file for all the PDF. So by doing so, that will allow you to actually feed the syllabus inside the chat GPT. Because again, it's very hard to actually pass PDF files to the chat GPT. And sometimes he refused to open them. And sometimes also he make mistakes, not only in opening them, but I believe he had some issue because I pass him a lot of times PDF files and he didn't really seem to read them. Okay, so there is problem with that. And even if you want him to read the PDF file, you cannot pass uh, maybe 15 file one shot. This is impossible. You have to pass them one by one. So the only way is that you have to do some processing before you pass the text or the syllabus to the chat GPT. So now you just go here, open the text file, okay, and you pass it to the chat GPT. You want to see an example? I actually have done something similar. So not for your case, but for other students. So let me just share with you if I want to. Let me see here if I'm able. Let me see. I think the code is here, but possibly. So I think, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen, but
You cannot see the text file.
yeah, I cannot see it as well.
Okay. So can you see that? Can you see what I'm opening? So this is actually a university syllabus for Java. This is an exam actually. This specific one is an exam. Okay. So even the exam, I'm able to convert it to just because I get the exam as a PDF. So I wanted to get all the text inside from it. Okay, so now let me just share with you how actually the PDF file for the exam looks like. So here, let me check that if this is the one that got an image. Okay, yep. So this one got an image, you see. So can you see that? Are you able to see my, oh yeah, you are able to see it. So can you see this? Can you see this? This is an image. This is a PDF file, but at the end, this part is actually put inside here as an image. So if you try to select that, you're not able to select it because it's an image. Okay, but here this is the text, so you can get the text easy. You see, Daniel, are you able to follow up?
Yeah, invisible.
Yeah. So what I want to say is that this portion, they need something called OCR. Did you deal with a scanner before?
Yeah, I deal with scanner before.
Okay. So what the scanner typically do? Did you use any OCR software with a scanner? Do you know what I mean OCR?
No.
OCR.
What does it mean OCR?
So okay, so OCR actually you pass it in images from the scanner, and this software is able to tell you this image that you take from the scanner is actually, if it contains text, it will get you out the text in an editable format. So sometimes we scan a book and then we want to edit the content of a book, or even we have a paper and that it has some text, and we know that the scanner is only able to produce images. Am I right?
Yeah.
So the OCR, there is software that sometimes come with certain types of some models of the scanners, and they are able to make you have the text in the images in an editable format. So it means that they put for you on a document file. So did you deal with Microsoft document before?
Yeah, I deal with Microsoft documents.
Okay, so the OCR produced for you, it transfers the images and the text inside the images to a document format where you are able to edit the text. So this is the purpose of the OCR. But now on the programming level, we are also able to include OCR capabilities inside our code, where we are able to convert an image like that to a text. So we're able to get all the text inside, which is code actually. So did you understand what I said? Did you catch anything from so far from what I said, or is hard?
Yeah, I think so. I catch a few things.
Okay. And are you able to tell
Um,
me what did you catch so far?
Catch on about the OCR and how I think Python changes documents to PDF file like that.
Okay. Okay. And what else?
And sometimes, yeah, I think I catch around that.
Okay. Um, do you feel saturated very fast, Daniel? It means that do you lose focus, or you feel saturated very fast? It means that what is saturated means, by saying saturated means that you um, you feel that you got enough information and that you are not able to take more information.
No, nothing like that. Sometimes, either from school, I I kind of zoned out for a little while and then I came back just like that. Sometimes like,
Okay.
and then I learn it back from videos and everything. Something.
Okay. Okay. So so every human mind are actually different from others. That's why I wanted to understand your condition, so that I mean how your brain works, so that I even try to refer back to the books, because I mean so what I want to say that I think, but I am not sure, because again I am just um, on the tutoring side or the teacher side, not on the not in neuroscience. But they teach some neuroscience to teachers. So what I want to say that um, some people uh, they get saturated very fast. Okay, so it means that your working memory, so typical the average working memory are able to actually catch or handle four different information at the same time. Some people have ability to handle seven different information at the same time. Some people have less than the average. So it's better to understand, so that you are able to find techniques to handle that. So if you saturate very fast, that means that there is a high chance that your working memory have lesser ability. It doesn't say um, that you cannot achieve things. This is totally different. Achieving, you're able to achieve. Same like the people who have ability to handle seven different information at the same time. Of course, definitely the people who handle whose brain is able to handle more information at the same time, they finish tasks very fast. So it's okay, that's fine. But um, in your case, I would say, just let me say that you still able to achieve similar or closer results to the people who finish very fast. But it need a lot of effort from you. It just need the willingness and the strong will from you and the effort. So to overcome that, your working memory cannot handle too much information. But at the same time, you will find that you got areas in your brain that are more stronger than others. So that is also what I notice in from the other students. Okay, so don't think that because a student is smart that he will be able to handle everything. At certain areas they were not able to handle. So I have seen very smart people, when they try to drive a car, they got lost very fast, very fast. They cannot recall any street. So, and on the other side, you might find yourself having difficulty in maybe solving exercises or even math exercises very fast, but you are excellent in driving compared to other people. I'm just giving you a different example. So it doesn't mean that just because your working memory have different capacity, that everything else got affected. No. So it seems that our creator makes things in a balanced way. So you still find strengths in your brain. So you just need to understand what is the strength given to you, and you use it for your own benefit. Okay. Did I also manage to make you catch something, or you got lost?
Yeah, you managed to catch me something.
Okay. Can you share with me the homework?
Yeah, sure.
So, Daniel, let me just pause here. Okay.
Mhm. So first, I haven't finished the homework. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't finished one exercise, which is the day of the week, because I don't understand what the question really wants.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I done the BMR exercise,
And
and yeah, I'll be able to do it.
okay. And what is there was three exercises, right?
Yeah, three exercise.
Okay.
The other one is
So let me discuss with you this one first. Is it possible?
okay, sure.
So you write here a code, and you are calling a function, right?
Yeah,
And you are getting gender here, right?
yeah.
Okay, that's excellent. And you get male and female as an input. But my question would be that your code have no protection. If I pass instead of putting male or female, uh, if I put like that as an input, how is your code is going to handle that?
It will put out the invalid gender input.
Yes, but this will only end the program, and that will be the result after you even go to the method. But suppose you do not move to the next step of getting an input from the user unless he give a proper input here.
Okay, so you want me to put an if statement? Is that it? For
Mm, and okay, so an if statement will only work one time. So if he repeat his input again, and then he give you like that, so he miss the A here. So if you put an if statement, so your if statement will execute one time or many times.
uh, you will execute many times until he get the right one.
Okay, show me how you write an if statement that execute many times.
Which one is this? Hmm.
it is fine to copy. I mean, I don't mind that you copy code as long as you understand it. So let me brainstorm with you. What are we going to check here in this if statement?
I want to check the string.
Okay, so we want to make sure that the gender. So we want to make sure that gender have gender contains male or male, female or female. Am I right? So
Yeah.
if, okay, so our if statement should say that if our gender does not contain any of those, this means that we are having a problem. This means that if it doesn't contain those, we should tell the user wrong input. But if it contains any of those, so it means that the input is correct. What do you think? So we have two ways. We can say if condition, and we put, for example, like what you mentioned here, gender equal male, like that. So that is, you are testing if the user input is correct or not. So if the user input is correct, it means that you need to execute the next lines, getting the weight, getting the height, and so on. So the whole code should be here, that follows. But we should have an else. Why? Because else, if this is not true, so actually I'm just simplifying here. So we are only here checking male, but we need to check also that it is one with the capital, or also it is female. So we have to put all these four conditions here. Do you understand that? Or it's too hard?
Yeah, I understand.
So the else would be that you print something out, print, and then you say wrong input. But when you say that, so you have to open curly braces and you close it again. When you say that print, actually it means that you already missed all this code. Just because all this code should be actually inserted in this area. It should be inserted only and executed only if the user give a proper input. If it doesn't, we should print wrong input and we should exit the code. So this is how you make it at the moment. Okay? Did you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you please off your share? I want to share something with you. Okay. When we check the user input, we actually have a fixed techniques that is taught in the books to do so. This fixed technique is actually look like that. So here I use the technique to simplify the thing here. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't use male and female like the one that you gave. I just use M and F. Okay. So I accept M capital, M small, F capital, F small, just to simplify. So I'm able also to do that with a male and female, the whole world. But again, we just want to get the idea. Okay. So the idea here is that you take an input from the user using the scanner, and you check the gender with this if statement. But you are inside a while loop. Did you ever see a while with true before?
Yeah, I think before.
Do you know what it does?
Yeah, it keeps going the loop until it breaks the cycle. Cycle of
Excellent.
the loop.
Excellent. Okay, that's good. So you seems to understand the code, but when you have maybe difficulty in writing a correct code, but you seem to understand. That's okay. I need to learn more about you. So okay, uh, so this break statement does what, in your opinion?
Uh, it breaks the loop and continue to
Part
another
of the
code.
program.
Part of the program, yeah.
Okay, that is excellent. So we only break it when, what is this condition? What this condition tell us?
We only break it if the gender is equals to M or F.
So if the input is correct,
Yeah.
break the loop, right? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
If the input is not correct, what it does?
Is if it's not correct, it will print out the invalid input. Please enter M,
Mhm.
male, the print line
Okay, so it
from
will do
male.
that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then it will keep repeating or no? It will
It
keep
will
looping?
keep repeat. Yeah, it will keep looping until you get the right one.
Okay, so again, we are not able to depend on an if statement alone. We have to put a while loop to enclose the if statement. Okay, so is that clear to you or?
Okay, it's clear.
Okay, so this is how we do the validation for the input, and validation is actually quite important. Your system can be very well designed, but you did not test it against the normal user. The normal user ability is not at your ability. It's not at your brain abilities. He's much more worse. So he can be a user at supermarket. He can be just a guy who doesn't have high education. So his input might be rubbish. He might enter just, or he might be even a child who's just pressing the buttons on a game or even a program. So you cannot go and execute the whole code and do some calculation without getting a proper input. Okay, so I and the books say that while true is not recommended. Okay, so why it is actually not a good practice? Okay, because if we didn't put a proper break, the loop will this loop will run forever. Is that clear to you?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so to break, you always have to put if with a break. But if the loop logic is big, sometimes it's hard to actually trace where the break is working. And even if you miss the break, if your condition miss the break, also the loop will continue looping forever. Is that clear to you?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. May I ask you something, please? Can you please kindly uh, write this portion, add it to your code, and tell me. So now you see the code. I want you to put it inside, choose the correct place to replace part of your code so that this can work. Can you do that? Is it easy or difficult, in your opinion?
I can try.
Okay. The first thing that before you think where you want to put it, I would recommend you start writing this whole code first, and then so that I'm able to see what are you doing and maybe give you some guidance. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
No, no, not yet.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Done?
Done. Yeah.
Okay, you can share your code. So where did you write?
Here.
Okay. Okay. So does this code really works? Did you try to make it work?
Yeah, try to put few things, try to add the string gender here, but make it the gender male here. I don't know what's wrong with this.
But in the code that I passed you, so okay, I believe in the code that I passed you, the gender was dealt with as if it is a character. In your code, you deal with the gender as a string, which is also fine. It's totally fine. There is no need to change that. So you can keep it as a string like what you define here. Do you know what is the difference between a character and string? Just to
Yeah, the string is word, a character is just one character.
yes,
Like
but there is another difference. So do you see here a single quote and
it,
double quotation? So this is a string, this is a character. Is that clear?
true. So actually double quotation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. If you define it as a strings, you have to put double quotation. Yes. Okay, can you try to run and let me see the errors? Sometimes it's important to see to read the error and try to make sense of it. So what is the error? Variable gender is already defined. I think this is very clear. So you defined that gender here. So we cannot define two times. So we can define it in one time and then we use it on the second lines, no problem.
But then there's an error here.
Okay, then I would say go up. I will tell you why you're facing this error. So okay, we preferably as a good practice to avoid problems in different areas of our code, we do not define a variable like that inside the loop. Because if you define it like that inside the loop, it means that outside the loop cannot see or deal with the gender anymore. So preferably, we always define or declare our variables outside the loop. And then we can use it inside the loop, no problem. But the declaration, do you know what the meaning declaration?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to declare to tell the computer reserve a place in the memory for the gender with that can accommodate a string. We need to tell that outside the loop. Do you know how to do that?
Outside the loop, so which means here.
Okay, that's excellent. Excellent, excellent, perfect. Just don't forget the semicolon only here. Now try to run and see. So now your program will somehow run, but we're still facing a different error.
Oh
That is
no, it's
totally
not.
fine.
No, it's a different different program.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's
Day of the week still getting you an error. Are we in the day of the week? Okay.
no. Sometimes okay.
Is
Like
it the
it's
code of the day of the week is here?
yeah.
It's inside the same BMR?
No, it's not the same. It's different.
Okay. Are you able to comment that code first? So this day of week, just comment that call. Just comment that. Okay, and try to run, please. Missing a return statement. Put a return statement here. Any return statement, any string return statement. No, you don't put it. This is the start of your method. This is the end of your method. You have to put the return statement here. Return empty string, like that. Okay. Don't put y. Okay, fine. Yeah. That's totally fine. Yeah, you can run. What is the issue again?
The return statement.
Yes, you have to return a string, just empty string. Just write a return empty string. You cannot you are expected to return a string but you return an integer. That's why it doesn't accept it. Okay, empty string, you know how to put empty string? Just like that. This is empty string. Yes, perfect. Run. Okay, so it runs. Okay. Okay, I want you to put F, no, not F, S.
Again, S.
Yes, we want something wrong. So, okay, invalid input, and then he repeat again. M. Oh, he doesn't accept our M. Why? That is interesting. What about F? Does he accept F? He still does not accept our.
Okay. And
What do you think? Why he doesn't accept?
maybe because it doesn't read to the next line.
Can you try to? We don't want to keep guessing. I would say I prefer to print out this gender. So we enter something. I would like to see if what you entered is actually correct or wrong. So I want to know what is stored in gender actually that make our code doesn't work.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay, so it's still m that we stored. So it means that we are really storing the value in the correct place. But can I ask you something? Do we remember that we talked about not using equality check with the strings? Can you still recall that?
Yeah.
What did we say we should use?
The column.
Can you remember the method that we said we want to check?
This string. No. Index. Substring, right? We use subs.
No, we use something different. Substring and index of is have a different usage. We studied at the end of the slide something called compare to and equals, and we say we always need to use dot equals to check the equality of strings, that this side is equal this side. So this is, you should supposed to use gender dot equals and then you pass it here. Can you still remember that we talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say that this is slight laziness from you because we already take that. So I would prefer that you do some revision. At the end, me and you know that even if you don't like programming and then you want to find something different, but at the moment you are in a position that you have to pass certain things, and also as a requirement, either by university in general or even um, I would say by your parents at the moment, they require you to pass this kind of the learning stage. So you have to satisfy that. So
Yeah.
I think you are smart enough to understand what I'm trying to help you with.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's try.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah, it works.
Okay, excellent. Can you try to please stop again and run again and try to put M and see if it doesn't work? Okay, so now I think now the validation part of our code is working now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I would like to go to one of the other codes, please, if you don't mind. I pass you the exercise where I ask you what is the reason for a certain line of code. Can you still remember that?
Yeah. What's it? What is that? Yeah. You show me why do we use two
To
if statement to
excellent,
check
yes.
for empty
Why?
space.
Mhm.
Okay, so first This one is to make sure that uh just to make sure that I have that written somewhere. What does it mean by two separate?
No, sorry. Can you, where, which one?
Uh, this one you said that what do we use two, but I can't see the word two here.
Okay,
Two if statement.
let me share my code, please.
Okay.
Okay, so where are you referring to exactly? Which line? Says spaces within the, how does each statement contribute to accurately, where is it? Where is two here?
Yeah, this one. Two is does it mean by two if statement here?
Yeah, I mean, this is
Uh,
one and second. There
okay.
is two if statements
Let me
here.
check.
Why we need to use space index not equal one?
921 because to make sure that what the code we are using is true.
Okay, so this space index is actually a result of using index of. Can you still remember why we used in the previous class, why we used index of?
Yeah, to notation is to separate the strings, to separate the strings between.
No, index of is a purpose is not to separate the strings, is to know where is the white space exactly. Where is the empty space between the words? Am I right? Can you
Yeah,
still remember why we use it like that? So
yeah, to
he
find
will
the.
store this space index. So if this is a string s, and we say this s like that, and then we store that in space index. So this space index will return -1 if there is no white empty space like that. So if you put all the words without space, then this index of will return -1. So if it returns -1, it means that we have no way to know the first from the second from the third. Do you understand me? Do you
Okay.
still keep the old code?
Yeah, still keep
Okay,
the old codes.
run the old code that you write, but pass it a name that doesn't have any spaces in the middle, and tell me if it even works. So again, now we are making our code smart so that we cater for a wrong input. Can you please try to do that for me?
Yeah.
Share your code. So where here in your code, where did you actually look for an empty space?
Um,
Where else?
this one.
So
So
you looked here and here. So it means that, uh, okay, now I would like you to run, please, this code. You are right. I think you are running the BMR. So just be, okay, enter a name without any spaces. No spaces. You see, there is an error in the code.
Mm.
So it means that if you deliver this software to a user, and then he see that, okay, he put some input, and then the code hangs and exit totally. So that is a big issue for a company that is selling software. We should never make our code hang and off and become exit like that. We should be able to cater for a user wrong input. And we should tell the user with a message that this is a wrong input. Is that clear? So,
Yeah.
okay, now I want you to put an if statement here that check if n is equal, not equal -1, before you continue running this code. So the condition to run this code and below is that n not equal -1. Can you do that if condition? Why are you confused? Can I ask you, if I'm rushing you, you get confused more? So you would like to take your time when you are thinking?
Well, yeah, if you rush
Okay.
me,
Yeah, okay, fine. So yeah,
yeah, so if not, 20%. Um, well, if I'm doing so, hmm,
it's okay, talk.
uh, you say that it's true have to come first, right? Then the false one.
No, not
On
necessary. It's up to you. This is not what I meant here. I meant that this condition can evaluate true or false. Which one can come first is up to us. Can you come here and check? Yes, walk on top of the code to be able to read what is the issue. Just move the mouse. Yes. Break outside switch or loop. Ah, so actually, we don't put break inside an if statement. We put it inside a while loop, but we don't here have any while loops here. So we don't really need to use break.
just else. Just leave it like that.
Leave it like that first. Can you try to run? You still have an error, even though you already put the if statement. Can I know what this if statement, can you reread again the if statement?
If n is not equals to -1,
So if it is not equal to -1, what does this mean?
it means that it continues the program.
Okay.
It's not equals to -1. So let's continue.
Okay, we're still getting an error, but can we know what is the line of the error? What is the line of the error? Range out of bounds. And where are we getting the error?
I think it's around here.
Print name 28. And let me move that to be able to see 28. So you said invalid input and then you continued your code again. But suppose if I have invalid input, I do not run that code. How can you prevent that code from running? If you have a valid input, your if statement is printing something which is correct. But if it prints something, it means that I don't need to execute that code. So my question, if you put spaces, will this part of the else statement execute? Can you put a print line inside the else?
Like that?
I think if one branch of the else, if say invalid input, so it means that here we should say valid input. To me, it's like a valid input that the program should continue. Valid input, yes. Can you run, please?
Should I write the invalid or the valid?
The valid, to test if this is really working. So we printed valid input, right?
Yeah.
And then we completed executing the code and we got the proper output, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't execute that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so does this mean that when we have a valid input, we should execute that? And when we have an invalid input, we should never execute that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it means that you need to copy this code here in this branch. So it get never executed if we have an invalid input. Did you understand what I said?
So
No, you
like
don't have to copy. You have to cut. Never mind. You do it your own way. It's okay. And then we talk about it. Okay, can you
yeah.
try to run? Yes. We test.
Was it the invalid or the valid?
Invalid.
Yeah.
So are you still facing the problem?
No.
So now
it-
when
So it means that the program only runs when it's
it's giving a
the
valid input.
yeah
If it is not, then it will not run anymore.
this. All right.
May I know what is your confusion so I can try to.
No, there's no confusing.
Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So if you have invalid input, this is one of the ways to protect your code from processing invalid input. But you also have to understand that if you, I mean, so that will only execute if the first full name is correct or if the n does not have -1. But we also, again, we will face a problem. So I will tell you, can you run again? Okay, I want you to put only one space between the first name and second name, and then the third name, and the no space between the second name and third name. So Daniel, and have a space, and then the second and the third have no space. Okay, run. So now you have an issue now again. So yes, you managed to pass this if statement, but now you have another one which is checking for also the empty space. And if this return -1, that will create a problem in your code. You cannot run -1 here like that. That will give you an issue. So that's why in the code that I passed to you before, I asked you to explain the reason why we need to put two if statements for the if space index. So you also need to put
So I need
an
to put another if
if
statement.
statement to check here that also there is another, this v does not return -1. If it does not return -1, you can execute the code, or else you also can tell him invalid input. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense. So that means if I have two statements, two empty spaces inside a code, that means I have to put another
Yes.
if statement to validate the code, right?
Yes, you are correct. Actually, there is a more general definition for why we are doing so, but I will do it with you little by little so that I don't confuse you. Okay. So this technique, we should use it with many things, not only here. But at the moment, let us talk about it here first. So yes, what you mentioned now, it's 100% correct that we should, before we depend on V in the calculation here, because we have to use substring with V, right? If V
Yeah.
minus 1, it will always throw an error. So we have to check with an if statement to protect our code from showing this error. This error is a big shame in the face of a programmer. Either you are in front of the customer or you are in front of your professors, or you should never make your code end in a situation like that. Okay.
Okay.
So they say it, senior programmers say it, you should eat the error. Eat it means that, okay, the, or they have another term, but it's a bit dirty term, cover the shit. So you should cover your shit from the user or from the professor. You have your code problem, your code hang for some reason. You should never show that your code hangs. Everything should look fine. So you should give a nice error statement to the user or to the professor without showing this thing. This is your dirty clothes. You should never show your dirty clothes to the others. Okay.
All right. Understood.
Excellent. So your code handles error professionally. Okay, that's great. Okay. So
Yeah.
let me see. Let me share a few things with you before the time start to run out from us. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever use this mass dot square root before? So this is actually like passing this here, calculating the square root.
Yeah, I managed to do it before.
Okay,
So
and what about the round?
the round is finding the nearest between 5.6, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay, that's great. But we're not talking about the mathematical point of view. We're talking about the
uh,
programming
I
point of view.
I don't think the round I ever used it before, but I know that is in the program.
Mhm.
But I have used the square root and stuff like that.
Okay, excellent. That's good. Uh, I would like to tell you that this math is actually a kind of library, okay? And this library, they call this math to square root, math to round, and all this function inside the math, they call it a static method, okay? So I know that this term might be blur and not clear now, but that will come later into explanation. So, but I just want to tell you that math is a class, and we will study also classes in a later stage. At the moment, classes, at the moment, we don't need to do anything to the class just to use the square root. We just call math dot square root, and then we just use it immediately like that without any definition because it comes with Java itself. So Java offers that library, which is containing, it is here, java.language.package, and it comes with Java, and we are using the math class. And because this is a static, so I do need to define math before I call math.square root. But normal classes, I need to call the class name, initialize it, and even have a definition for it. What is the details? We will go through that in the later classes. But okay, may you please have a look at these methods and tell me if you have ever see them before? Absolute here, APS.
I only have seen power, POW, and square root. I haven't seen ABS for
What about random?
random. I think we managed to do some before these classes.
Okay. And did you ever see math.pi?
No, never seen.
Okay, but you know the pi, right?
Yeah, I know the pi.
Okay. So absolute, you pass it a negative number, and so the absolute is like that. So you pass it negative, it give you just the number. Is that clear to you? Any problem with
Yeah,
that?
no, it's
Okay,
clear.
so all of those are part of the math class, and if you want to call them, you just use math dot absolute like that, and you pass it -1 like that. Okay, so do you see how we use and call the math? Can you please try to write this code? Is it possible? Can you?
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
Right then.
Okay, do you understand now what is mass dot minimum?
Yeah, it finds the minimum, right?
Between two inputs, right?
Two inputs.
Okay. And okay, I believe, can you tell me if these expressions are clear to you?
By clear, you mean
I mean, do you understand what they are
uh
doing?
yeah, try
And
to
yeah, I'm listening.
try to find the power for each statement.
Okay,
3 power of 2, and the z is 10 power of -2, right?
yes. And here the square root, which is typical, and then they subtract, and then we have a result like that. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's 10.
Okay. The last thing that we will take is that, can you look at within half? It takes two input and it take an absolute value for this mass dot absolute, but it checks something here. And I would like to know why this actually return true and false, but it does not return a number.
Let's go. Is it 0.5 or
Yes,
-5?
it's 0.5. Yes.
X minus y also equals 0.4. So it returns, because we didn't put out a statement for what number should return, right?
Yes, but I mean, do you understand this why this return true and false? And do you understand this kind of statement when it is done like that? Or I need to
Yeah,
simplify it?
yeah, I understand the statement that it asks.
So it
In,
yeah, it's clear that it returned true and false, right? Or not
yeah,
clear?
yeah,
Okay.
it's clear true.
Okay, what is the purpose of that line? What does it produce? What does this function do actually? When does it return false? When does it return true?
It returns false or true when the number is has 0.5 behind them. The value of 0.5. Yeah.
In a difference.
Yeah, in a difference.
So is if the difference between 5.1 and 4 is bigger than 0.5, it returns false, right?
Yeah.
Here?
It will return true.
Why?
Because it's less than
Or equal?
0.5 or equals, yeah.
Okay, okay. So I will stop here and then we continue next class. Do you have anything to tell me before we go?
No.
Okay, let me stop the recording. Actually, in the previous